Have you ever thought about what would happen if the Earth suddenly stopped spinning? The planet rotates at a speed of about 1,000 miles per hour at the equator, and we don't even feel it. But what if, in an instant, the spinning came to a screeching halt? Would we survive? What bizarre and terrifying changes would we face? In this video, we're diving into the jaw-dropping consequences of a world where Earth no longer spins. Get ready for some shocking twists that will make you question everything. To begin with, a violent start. If Earth stopped spinning instantly, the effects would be catastrophic. The surface of the Earth would experience unimaginable chaos. Everything would fly eastward. At the equator, objects, people, and even buildings would suddenly be flung eastward at 1,000 miles per hour. This is because everything on Earth's surface is moving at that speed due to the planet's rotation. Mega tsunamis. Oceans wouldn't stay still. Water would rush toward the poles, creating colossal tsunamis that would drown entire continents. Coastal cities would be wiped out instantly. Massive windstorms. The atmosphere wouldn't stop moving just because the Earth did. Winds at supersonic speeds would tear through the land, leveling forests, cities, and everything in their path. Next, the shift in day and night. If Earth stopped spinning but continued orbiting the Sun, our experience of time would drastically change. Days would last months. A single day would stretch out over 6 months. Half of the planet would be scorched under constant sunlight, while the other half would freeze in endless night. Temperature extremes. The side facing the sun would become unbearably hot, while the dark side would plunge into freezing temperatures, creating uninhabitable zones on most of the planet. Survivors would flock to the twilight zone. The only livable area might be the twilight zone, the thin band between day and night where temperatures could remain somewhat moderate. As we move forward, gravity gets weird. Earth's rotation affects more than just the length of our days. It also impacts gravity and the shape of the planet. The Earth would become a perfect sphere. Right now, the planet is slightly flattened at the poles because of its rotation. If it stopped spinning, Earth would become a perfect sphere, causing oceans to shift and flood previously dry land. We'd feel heavier. The centrifugal force from Earth's rotation slightly reduces the force of gravity at the equator. Without rotation, people at the equator would feel about 0.3% heavier, not much, but enough to notice over time. Thinking ahead, the magnetic field collapses. Earth's spinning core generates its magnetic field, which protects us from harmful solar radiation. Without rotation, this shield would weaken. Radiation exposure. Without a magnetic field, solar radiation would bombard the planet, making it nearly impossible to survive without protective shelters. Northern and southern lights would vanish. The auroras we see at the poles, caused by interactions between the magnetic field and solar particles, would disappear forever. Finally, could we adapt? While the immediate aftermath of a stopped Earth would be devastating, humanity might find ways to adapt over time. New technology. Engineers could design protective shelters, create artificial magnetic shields, and develop technology to deal with the extreme heat and cold. Moving underground. People might live in massive underground cities to escape the harsh surface conditions. Revolutionary farming. Growing food would be a challenge, but humanity might create underground farms using artificial sunlight. Conclusion. A world where Earth stops spinning is a terrifying but fascinating thought experiment. From flying debris and tsunamis to scorching days and freezing nights, the consequences would be almost impossible to survive without incredible ingenuity. While it's highly unlikely to happen, it's a reminder of how much we depend on the forces of nature we often take for granted. What do you think? Could humanity survive in a world where Earth stands still? Or would this be the end of everything we know?